MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WinBet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WinBet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WinBet to claim your free $100 bet today. The NFL kicks off this week. Get ready for the season with 32 NFL team previews from the Sports Gambling Podcast. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NFL previews today. And the free roll football contest is back and better than ever. $5,000 up for grabs in our NFL contest and $1,500 in our brand new college football contest. Sign up exclusively in our Discord channel, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. That is sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. Welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford. I am coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast corner of England. Today is Tuesday, September 6th, and we are here to handicap a full slate, in fact, more than a full slate, if that's a thing, of games for Wednesday, September the 7th. We've had a couple of old man specials this week so far with me and Munaf. We've let Munaf sit in his rocking chair tonight, put his blanket over his knees. We've got the young kids back. Introduce first, we'll go top right-hand corner, Mr. Noah Bennick. Noah, what's happening? Noah, sorry.
I'm on the bottom, but
do you know what?
We're all good.
Yeah, because what confused me then was I looked at the top right, looked at Dylan and said your name anyway. So, hiya, Noah, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Malcolm. Maybe not as good as you. You have big flight here coming up. But, I mean, the last podcast that I was on, it was me, Dylan, and Munaf. And the consensus gave out 14 correct plays of the 15 games. So we were on point for, I believe it was Friday's slate. You can't be much better than that. So if you guys listen to that Thursday podcast, you were cashing big time.
I noticed that because I was either working or drinking, one of the two. And then when I caught up with the chat the next day, I saw you three all patting each other on the back, and I felt all left out. I was like a little sad child in the corner. I had nothing to do with any of it. Dylan, you are in the top right-hand corner. I will say hello to you. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, boys. How are we doing? I hope everyone enjoyed their Labor Day. I don't know if they have that across the pond, do they? Do you guys celebrate Labor Day?
No, Moon, I've tried to explain it to me on Sunday, and I wasn't even sure he knew what he was talking about.
What was he saying?
He said it's for all the labourers, or he just was talking a lot of shit, frankly.
I honestly don't even know what it is, but I had a nightmaric Labor Day because where I was at for vacation, just like a little cabin on the lake type thing for us Americans typically, but I had like terrible data and no Wi-Fi, so I couldn't do the podcast with you guys yesterday. And I was in one of Munaf's fantasy football leagues that he was talking about and got absolutely destroyed in the draft. I had the auto draft in the first round because I couldn't get to service soon enough, so it gave me Jonathan Taylor. Not a bad pick, but I missed a huge wave of quarterbacks. Missed the first 10, so I ended up stacking the Lions, Jaguars, and Seahawks offenses, which is just not going to turn out so great.
Yeah, it doesn't sound great. I know everyone's been on tenterhooks with me, keeping you up to date with the fantasy playoffs with the D-Gens League. I'm taking on Cody Zeeb, having scraped through on Sunday night when it looked like I was going through it. I'm taking on Cody Zeeb of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast, amongst other things, and got off to an absolute flyer last night with the.
Nice.
I had the Blue Jays and the Orioles, that doubleheader. Bo Bichette and Andy Santander with 5 home runs between. Cody must have just. I bet the first time he logged on just to have a look at my lineup, I was on 5 home runs, 10 RBIs, a batting average of 670. That's absolutely wild. Just shot out of a cannon. I was just gone. So he's playing catch up. I'll do well to lose from that position. So yeah, that pleased me. And as
hey,
we just.
You might meet him, Munaf, and a couple of the other SGPN guys out in Vegas, right?
Well, we've just, as you've just touched on it, it's 10 hours and 32 minutes till the wheels go up, and I will watch my country fall away from beneath my feet and head across to spend some time with all the other DJs.
You ever taken a big flight like this before?
I've been to Florida before, just a silly little Disney family holiday. No, Dylan, I'm not flying first class unless, in the meantime, overnight, if you want to phone up and upgrade me, I'll send you my flight details, and you can do them. That'll be a nice surprise for me tomorrow when I get to.
You don't deserve to be flying economy.
When I get to Amsterdam in the morning and I get upgraded. I'll be very thankful to you, Dylan, for doing that.
So
I'll be flying.
Jet lagged when you land.
I have no idea, mate. I think I'll be too excited. I'll be flying first class on the way back with all the money I've won, so that's not a problem.
Let's go.
Tomorrow's card is weird at this point. We've got 17 games because we've got 2 double headers. So the Yankees and the Twins was called off about 15 minutes ago. And that was Joe Ryan and Gerrit Cole. And there's also a Mets-Pirates doubleheader from the Labor Day game that was postponed. And then we've got a load of games off the board as well. We've got no pitcher for Cleveland. And we've got no odds for about 4 or 5 games. But the evening was drawing on and we need to get going. So we'll endeavour
to catch a flight.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to get to bed. Not that I'm going to get any sleep at all, but I need to get to bed and at least try and get myself to the morning in one piece. So yeah, we're going to do the very best that we can. There's 8 or 9 games that have full lines on, so we'll be able to make some picks, but not as clear as things often are when we record at this time. I don't really know why that is, but we will crack on with the double header. In fact, both double headers we can tackle first because provisionally they're going to be the earliest starts. The 12:35 Eastern first pitch for game 1 of the Mets at the Pirates. Second game is a 6:35 Eastern first pitch. Pitchers matchups, as far as we are aware. I've got Jacob deGrom and Bryce Wilson against Chris Bassett and Oviedo is what's his name. I want to say Brian. Yeah. But Brian was Brian Oviedo. Is it Brian? Brian was a footballer who played for Sunderland in the Premier League about 17 years ago. So it's Johan Oviedo.
Go figure.
Go figure. Lines I have, and again, this is a weird thing. I have lines for both games, but they're identical. So I don't think this is accurate. With the Mets at -210, the Pirates at +180, the spread set at 8.5 for both games. So I don't think that's correct either. So it's a mess in terms of handicapping. So we let Dylan do it. Dylan, anything you want to tell us about this, or should we just crack on?
No, I got some lines for you because I have the same pictures for both games. So for the first game, I made the Mets a -315 favorite. -1.5 is -180. Flip that for the Pirates. I made the total 7.3. And yeah, for the second one, a little shorter, but I still made the Mets a pretty big favorite. -265 on the money line, -1.5, -150. Pirates, same thing, flip it, and then the total I made 8. But little key notes. Like I said, I did make them a really big favorite against the guy we love to fade, Bryce Wilson. The Braves, they're on the Mets, excuse my French, but ass right now. And I think the schedule kind of sets up nice for the Mets down the stretch. So we need these 2 games because the series against the Nationals did not help us at all. The Mets, they're a great road team, and I think out of with 2 of our 3 aces on the mound and Bassett and deGrom, I don't think the Pirates will be able to get anything going against them. But I feel like the lines will be inflated a little bit. So maybe a team total over for the Mets, anything above a 4, 4.5. And second game, I'll probably look towards the Mets -1.5. If we could get anything under a -140, I think there's value there.
Noah, did you have anything on this doubleheader at all?
So the Taiwan Walker Mitch Keller transferred over today, right? That's the matchup.
Yes.
Yeah. So I have this note. The Taiwan Walker has started 24 games this year, and 16 of them have hit the under. And
I just interrupt you. That game's tonight. That's the Tuesday game.
Oh, I thought. So that's the wrong New York team that got postponed. My bad.
The Mets. Yeah, the Mets got postponed on Monday, so Walker and Keller are going today. Tomorrow is DeGrom and Wilson and Bassett and Oviedo, we think.
Card is wild. Okay. Definitely, you mentioned that the prices just seem like they're the same and could be off. If it is true for that first game with Bryce Wilson on the mound, I'm all over the Mets. Everybody knows how I feel about Wilson. It's complete auto fade for me. But this Pirates lineup, they don't really have, like, their key hitters aren't really batting well right now. Reynolds, Brian Hayes, it's just not really clicking for the Pirates. I think the Mets need to take both these games here. So that's my only analysis, I guess.
It's worth watching the Pirates to occasionally see O'Neill Cruz throw it really hard.
Honestly, but he's hitting like 200 too. It's like
I don't care. Watch how hard he throws it, man. It's fun.
The only
thing I had written down when I saw this and I saw the odds was a Mets parlay, which was paying round about plus 110. We don't often do that. I
like the Yankees parlay too.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just about impossible to give anything concrete out. As it is, on this Yankees game, which is the Yankees doubleheader, which is the next one up. So we'll get this out the way before we get into a bit more concrete information. 3:05 first pitch for the first game. Second game will follow that one. So the postponed game today was Gerrit Cole and Joe Ryan, which I'm seeing slated as game 2 tomorrow, with game 1 slated as Domingo Germán going for New York and Louis Varland going for Minnesota. I had some bits and bobs on Varland as the Twins' number 11 prospect. He only debuted in AAA on August the 13th, so he hasn't been there very long, 3 weeks. Been in AA before that. Gets loads of strikeout. He's had double-digit strikeout games at AA. He struck out 8 in his debut at AAA in that game on August the 13th. So I thought a cheeky K prop on Louis Varland might be an option. We'll see if maybe no one knows anything about that. And Domingo Germán is pitching really well. He's got a 2.01 ERA in his last 5 starts. He's only pitched 49 innings this season, but he's done okay. On top of that, though, I've got absolutely bugger all. Well, I've got no picks for it. So, Noah, do you know anything about Varland at all, or is this just a pass until we get to the next one?
My only thing is, like, the Yankees aren't really one of those teams that I like to fade when it comes to strikeouts, but Leo Varland does have a little bit of juice coming out of that arm. Strikeout number is good in the minors. I see what you're looking at, Mel, and if you're feeling risky, go ahead.
Would that not be adjusted down though? What would it be in his debut and taking on the Yankees? Would you see a line at maybe 3.5 or something like that? Yeah.
I would assume it's going to be like 3.5. I mean, you just look at a couple of these other guys that have come up and look like they could rack up strikeouts. Tommy Henry for one, Brian Bayo for another. Just a couple of guys that we've liked coming up the ranks, and their K perhaps open up as like 2.5, 3.5. I think there's definitely value. The Yankees seem like a tough matchup in your first MLB pitching start.
Do you know how many strikeouts Hunter Brown notched last night?
5. He looked,
5. Okay.
He looked pretty good, and not gonna lie, like he grew up. This is the whole story. Detroit. You throw Verlander in any headline, and we'll love it. He grew up idolizing Justin Verlander, and I don't know if you've seen the Pitching Ninja video.
I saw the side by side.
Yes, it is wild. That's number 4 counter on wild. I don't know why I keep saying that in this podcast, but it is pretty cool watching both of those guys hologram together pitching. They look very similar. It's almost like Houston's cheating.
And Dylan, anything for this doubleheader at all?
Nothing really to add concrete-wise, just that Yankees, they have owned the Minnesota Twins this year. And over here, I'm about 15, 20 minutes from Yankee Stadium. It's pouring out today, tomorrow. You got wind blowing in at 10 miles an hour. So we might see some sloppy, ugly baseball. So I do actually see lines now that I'm looking at both of those games. I actually see lines, and they're short. They're like 7.5 for the totals for both games. So I see why it's slow, because the conditions out here in the Northeast are very bad right now.
Talking about Louis Varland gets us to a a subject that we've touched on a little bit, which certainly me and Moon after this last September, which was taking rookie pitchers, and we've who come up in September. You always get a good price on them now, and we talked about it on Sunday night when we had Hunter Brown going, and then last night. Oh, sorry, no, it was last night as well. Hunter Brown went. Ryan Nelson for Arizona, who then picked up the win. They beat the Padres 5-0. And there was one more as well. I can't think off the top of my head. But then tonight we're going back to the well again with pitchers like Louis Varland. So yeah, we went against it the other night, and I don't know why. Because on one hand we explained exactly why we like doing it, and then kind of backed against them, and they both went and won. And Ryan Nelson was a big price last night for Arizona. So Louis Varland, I'll be having a look at those prices tomorrow. Just a little aside that Captain Sano's joined in the chat. Aye, Captain. A couple of lines on the Yankees there that Anthony Rizzo has gone onto the IL. And Stanton has a question mark over his head as well. So all is not rosy for the New York Yankees.
You gave out a shout to Insano too. There's Michael in the chat as well. He's on Nationals alt line -2.5 yesterday, plus 480 that you guys gave out. So
this is me single-handedly resurrecting the career of Anibal Sanchez for the 4th week running. I know me and Dylan laughed about that this week. I mean, the bloke's pitched out of his skin. I'm going to have to take him off the naughty step. I'm going to have to get him back in the rotation. So.
And then Rick is also in the chat saying that he hates the Brutus statue there on Dylan's desk too. I've told him a couple of times as well, and I think that's why he put it back there. So,
yeah.
And it's
rough first game. They didn't look like they were world dominators, right, Dylan?
No, they didn't allow us a point in the second half. I think everyone, like Aaron Rodgers says, relax. It's week 1.
All right, let's talk some baseball. Let's get into some of these lines.
Unbelievably, Rick knew who Brian Oviedo was, that ex-Sunderland and Everton. I mean, I'm honestly 10 million to 1 about Brian Oviedo getting a mention on tonight's pod before we started recording. Okay, so we get to the main events now. The odds that we're going to give out are coming from our headline sponsor at WinBet. It's the perfect time to join WinBet. You'll get $100 free when you bet 100. The casino is open 24 hours a day as well. 100% deposit there up to $1,000 in Win has their first QB to throw for 5 touchdown bets. So get across to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WinBet so they know that we sent you sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. Offer subject to change. T's and C's at winbet.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where playthrough WinBet is available. If you are someone who has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. The free roll football contests are live for most people. One of them is dead to me, the college football contest. I bowed out of that on Sunday night. $1,500 up for grabs in that one. And the NFL contest, $5,000 to the winner in a 2-night stay at the Wynn Las Vegas. The Discord channel is the place you can sign up for those. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. And also, it's very much worth getting involved with the Elias Game Plan app. You will be aware of their work. They are the official statisticians of US pro sports leagues, including the NFL. And the app will let you access things like team stats, player stats, head-to-head comparisons, key insights as well from their own research team. So loads of stuff over there. The NFL season is perfect for you to download the Elias Game Plan app today. You'll get a special offer here, which is a 14-day free trial of a monthly subscription plan, but only if you use our code SGPN. So find the Elias Game Plan sports betting in the App Store or Play Store and use the promo code SGPN. Okay, so we can find some proper picks here. 3:10 Eastern first pitch is the Milwaukee Brewers and the Colorado Rockies, where Eric Lauer, left-handed pitcher, will take on Kyle Freeland, left-handed pitcher for the Rockies. The lines are the Brewers -140, Colorado +120. Total here is set at 11.5. And I've got no idea who's hands up, who's taking the lead here.
This is me.
Okay, go for it.
Milwaukee, they're 9-1 in the last 10 games against the Rockies. 6 of their last 7 games have hit the under. Colorado, they're 1-5 in the last 6. 7 of their last 9 games have cashed the under here. For me, I think I'm going the other way. I think I lean towards the over. Eric Lauer, he's going to struggle at Coors, in my opinion. Not only does he not really trust his off-speed pitches, he's going to be pretty much forcing fastball in Coors. But he's throwing each of his off-speed pitches under 18% of the time. And he gave up 8 runs in his 4-inning start in Milwaukee to this same Rockies team. So he has a worse road ERA of 4.10. Going to Coors just does not mix up great for him here. And Kyle Freeland at home, he has a 6.24 ERA. I think we see the total fly over, knowing that this Rockies bullpen is also prone to giving up runs late in games. So just that's going to be my pick here. I'm not really going to take a side.
Okay, well, I'll jump in there as well. Exactly the same pick, over 11.5. We've got a couple of 11s. I landed the under last night in the Monday night game as my lock of the day, actually. I don't really like Eric Lauer. I don't think he's very good. And Kyle Freeland is not to be trusted at home at all. So, yeah, I think it got to 10 last night, got to the game finished 6-4, but I think we can get over this total as well. So I'll co-sign the over. Dylan, is it a team ride?
Team ride on the over, but my official play is I am going to. Oh, what?
No, I'm not bad. No, it's over. My bad.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
No, you're good. I do agree with the over. I do think both pitchers will give up runs, but I like the Brewers here on the money line. I was able to get a -130. -140 is probably the max I'd go with Eric Lauer. I do think he is a little better than Kyle Freeland. He hasn't been terrible on the road. He gives up 3-4 runs, but he walks a lot of batters. That could get him into trouble. I think if he's able to keep the ball down, they could win this game. As for Kyle Freeland, he hasn't pitched well at all at home this season. In his last 2 starts, he's given up 11 runs in 10 innings. The Brewers, they've been playing decent ball, but whenever they play the Rockies, they're able to put some runs together. So I agree with the total. I made my total 11.8, so I do think we see some runs, but give me the Brewers here.
Okay, all right, so Malcolm, you ready for this little thing that we threw up our sleeve? That Thursday podcast where we went 14-1?
Yes, absolutely. Hit me.
It's a team ride.
Woo!
Let's go.
Is that the official team ride music?
Yes, sir.
It wasn't. Yeah, fantastic. Love it.
When I get brought up in the college experience, I got all these sound noises in their podcasts. I had to put in 1 or 2 of my own. So
first official sound drop. Yeah, we'll. Yeah. I'm sure we'll annoy everyone to death with that one. That's the game anyway. 3:37 Eastern first pitch. The Atlanta Braves at the Oakland Athletics. Spencer Strider goes for Atlanta, and for Oakland, it's left-hand a friend of the show, Dylan. It is our mate, Ken Waldichuk. He's back. What a result. We very much enjoyed Ken Waldichuk last week. Atlanta are -271. Oakland behind Ken Waldichuk are +222. The total here is set at 7. Dylan, how can we not let you take Ken Waldichuk?
Yeah, I got to take Ken Waldichuk here. I'm not going to take the A's, no, but I do I'm going to attack the total. I got it at a 6.5, and I'm going to go over that. I made my line 7.1, so even at a 7, slight lean to the over. As good as Strider has been this year, he does just give up 1 more run on average on the road than at home. But if you look at his last 13 games on the road, the over is 9-4 in those games. So as for our boy Ken, it is only a second start, and the Braves are going to be much different than going up against the Nationals. But the Braves, I think they'll make them pay. I think both pitchers can give up a few runs here. We also have 7-mile-an-hour winds blowing out into right field. So I'm rooting for Ken, but not in this spot. Give me the over.
Okay, Noah, this is your debut handicap in Ken Waldichuk. What do you think of him?
Yeah, this thing is flying over my head. What do we have going on with Waldichuk here?
What a name!
Well, there was 2 A's. He's called Waldichuk, but then we were really disappointed that his first name was Ken. We wanted him to be called Aloysius or Sebastian or something exotic. Not
Gotcha.
Ken.
Gotcha.
He was just really disappointed. We might rename him. I'll rename Ken. Like Romeo Waldichuk or something would be tremendous.
Because, I mean, looking at his minor league numbers, 6-4, 284, 137 strikeouts in 21 games. Looks pretty good. I wanted to know what the whole Waldichuk hype was about, you know?
It was nothing more than having a silly name, unfortunately. It was nothing big or clever.
All right. So, you know what? I think it looks promising. That's what I'll say. I like the under.
Okay, well, I'm going to agree with you then.
There we go.
I was slightly concerned with Dylan's handicap because he made a good point, but I just think Spencer Strider's been great. He struck out a million batters last week, didn't he? And Ken Waldichuk pitched okay, I think. Did he go 5? Only give up 1 run, or
he's only got a 193 ERA in the pros.
Yeah. So yeah, just a second star. But what I've actually got here is the first 5 under. I think this could be a bit of a slow burn. I know Matt Olson's struggling a little bit at the plate for Atlanta. Hasn't been hitting very well. I could do with him springing into life for my fantasy playoffs. So yeah, I think Waldichuk can hold it together here. And we can see this going under on the first 5. Next up is 4:07 Eastern first pitch, which is the Detroit Tigers at the LA Angels. Drew Hutchison gets the start for the Tigers, and the lefty Patrick Sandoval goes for the LA Angels. Detroit are +170. The Angels are -202. Total here is set at 8.5. Hutchison is 2-7 on the season, has a 4.06 ERA, 82 innings and 53 strikeouts. Sandoval 5-9 with a 3.02 ERA, 122 innings pitched, 127 strikeouts. Hutchison's going okay. You get 5 innings out of him. He gives up between 1 and 3 earned runs. He's been improving. He's got a 3.60 road ERA as well. He's actually pitched the majority of his innings on the road as well. So I kind of trust him a little bit better away from Detroit. Sandoval's been great. 1.39 ERA in his last 5 starts. He's only given up 3 earned runs in his last 22 innings pitched. He has a 1.67 ERA against AL Central opposition. Decent sample size there as well, 27 innings pitched. So this for me can go under. I was really pleased when I saw this number as big as it was, because I think Sandoval can hold a weak Detroit lineup, and I'm expecting Hutchinson to be steady. And again, I know the Angels put up 10 last night. If anything, that makes me like this a little bit more. It's almost like they've scored their runs for the week. So I'm going to take the under 8.5, Noah.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Hutchinson pitches better on the road. 3.67 road ERA. Sandoval in his last 6 games has a 1.81 ERA. And one of those 6 games was a complete game 4-hit shutout against the Tigers. So we're definitely going under here. This one could be lockworthy at the end of the podcast for me.
Nice. Lockworthy. Dylan, are we going to hear the trumpets again?
Noah, cue the trumpets.
We're going to cue it.
Yep.
Let's play now.
I'll tell you what, boys, if we're going to do that, we need to be a bit slicker with our presentation. You can't shout, hey! Woo!
No more.
Yeah, I feel like that's gonna get old real quick.
It's about 5 minutes ago for me, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, I actually see 9s popping up. So if you're able to catch a 9, love that. I got an 8.5, and I'm gonna go under. I've mentioned it for weeks now on the pod. The unders for the Tigers game have been a cash cow. Didn't cash for us last night, but as Malcolm said, I love that they actually went over, because now I'm going to hammer the under. You guys mentioned it. Sandoval just faced the Angels a few weeks back. Noah mentioned it. Went 9 scoreless, only giving up 4 hits, which is crazy. The game ended 1-0. As for Hutchinson, he's pitched pretty good on the road than at home this year, and most of the games have gone under. So I think we see a pitching duel. I think we see another close game. Going to go under 8.5, 9, whatever you can get.
Captain Insano loves the trumpets. Give the people what they want.
I think the people love it. They'll love it for the next week or so.
Both of our listeners have expressed an interest in the trumpets.
We got sideswiped by the Sports Gambling Podcast. They're live right now. So
are they?
We were live first, and they just took the audience. So
unbelievable, isn't it?
They're in Vegas though, so it's fun.
Vegas sounds like a fun place to go. Might try it one day. 4:10 Eastern first pitch is the San Francisco Giants against the LA Dodgers. Alex Cobb draws the start for San Francisco, and the Dodgers have Clayton Kershaw going to the mound, left-handed pitcher. The lines are San Francisco plus 215, LA Dodgers minus 255. Total here is set at 9. And this is coming back to you, Noah.
Yeah, San Francisco, they're on a 4-game win streak competing for that NL wild card. They're trying to get back into this picture here. But the Dodgers, they're 8-1 in their last 9 against San Francisco with a loss on Monday to the Giants. They're 17-5 at home since the All-Star game. The Dodgers are. So I think it just regresses back to the mean here with Kershaw on the mound. Alex Cobb, he's 5-6, 3.81 ERA, 122 strikeouts, 34 walks in 118 innings pitched. He has a 1.39 ERA in his last 4 games, 5.31 ERA in 2 games versus the Dodgers this year. Then you got Clayton Kershaw, like I mentioned. Second game off the IL, 7-3 on the year, 2.59 ERA, 94 strikeouts, 18 walks, and 90.1 innings pitched. He's not going to go too deep after coming off the IL. Only went 5 innings in his first start, but in 3 games against the Giants this year, he has a 3.85 ERA. I think after sweeping the Phillies and winning 1 game in LA, the Giants are live here. Jock Peterson's hitting 538 in his 4-game win streak with 2 tanks. My pick is the Dodgers, but I'm not going to bet it. I think the Giants are live. Okay,
Dylan, how do you feel about Noah's handicap?
100% agree. I don't think Clayton Kershaw should be over a 255 favorite. That's ridiculous in my eyes. I only made the Dodgers a minus 140 favorite. As for the total, I made my total 6.2. So I love the under 9. I think that's a little high, but even if you look at the Giants run line, plus 1.5, I got plus 112. I think that's great value there. I know Alex Cobb hasn't been the guy or the best on the road. He's lost twice to the Dodgers, but I think he could keep the Giants relatively close. The game just can't get out of hand. I don't think it will because I just don't know what we're going to get from Kershaw. In his first start against the Mets, he wasn't bad, but he walked 3 batters in the first inning, and he just couldn't get any run support for him. So I just want to see a little more out of him in his next 2-3 starts. So and out of the 3 starts, but the Kershaw has went up against the Giants, 2 of the 3 have gone under the number. So low-scoring games when they do get together. I think we see another close game here. I think the Giants are live. I think they're picking momentum up. So give me the under, and I like the Giants to keep it close here.
And you see, I thought the complete opposite. I watched Kershaw last week, and I was really enthused by his start against the Mets. I thought he pitched really, really well. In fact, I think I faded him, was expecting him to be a little bit rusty, and he just wasn't. Obviously, like you say, he walked those 3 batters early on, but after that, I thought he was absolutely great. I'm expecting the same again tomorrow. This is one of those games, it's at the middle of the series where I feel like I handicapped the series last night. And we handicapped the spot, the trends on the Giants and the Dodgers. And Moonaf pointed out rightfully that the Dodgers do own the Giants as well. If you're going to take the Dodgers, you just have to take them on the run line. They'll always cover. So that's exactly what I'm going to do here. I don't think it's too chalky a play either, having the YouTube boys have both gone in the other direction. So, yeah, give me the Dodgers on the run line here.
I picked the Dodgers. I didn't have the balls to put the Giants on the money line there. I just think the Giants are live.
Fair enough. Football season coming up. You need to watch all the football. The place you need to watch it is at Fubo TV. Fubo TV gives you complete coverage of college and pro football, along with NFL Red Zone. All the games are in 4K, no extra charge. Hundreds of channels, live sports and entertainment for a fraction of the price of cable. Watch it on all your devices, including cloud-based DVR. No contract, no commitment, cancel at any time. Try Fubo TV free for 7 days and get 50% off your first month. Go to FuboTV.com/SGP. That's Fubo FUBOTV.com/SGP. Promoguide.us, another new sponsor here. Really straightforward, this, and why wouldn't you use it? Promo Guide will give you the biggest bonuses and direct you to all the best offers from all the different sports weeks. So all the risk-free deposits, $1,000 here, $1,000 there, odds boosts, and also the best analytics in the business as well. So that's promoguide.us, which is your guide to betting smart. And finally, Sleeper. I'm absolutely certain everyone's been hammering Sleeper over the last few weeks, getting our drafts in before the Thursday deadline. But they have integrated the over or under game that we've been telling you about for a while now. A really fun game where you can pick your player props and then win anything from 2 to 20 times your money. But they've integrated that into your fantasy experience. So if you've got a player on your roster and you like them to have a good weekend, you can just click and add them and add a stake into the little over or under game. So a new thing to go with your fantasy team, and you can make a few money, a few quid on the side as well. What you need to do is go to sleeper.com/SGP. Sleeper will automatically match that first deposit up to $100 with the promo code SGP. Sleeper.com/SGP. T's and C's apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Next is the 4:10 Eastern first pitch. The Chicago White Sox and the Seattle Mariners. No pitcher for the White Sox. Either of you both seen anything yet? Oh, Michael Kopech, actually. So it's officially a TBD pitcher for the White Sox. I've got Michael Kopech going down, and Luis Castillo will go for Seattle. We have no lines. What that pitcher being unofficial thus far. So we'll throw this across to Dylan. And what can you tell us about this, Dylan, in the absence of that White Sox pitcher?
Yeah, so I did have Michael Kopech go, and I saw him a little before we got on. My lines, I made the Mariners a -170 favorite. -1.5 is -119. Flip it for the White Sox. I made my total 7.6. So no lines up yet, but like I said, I did make the Mariners a pretty hefty favorite with Castillo on the mound. The White Sox, they did just take the first game of the series, but that was because of that long delay the Mariners had against the Guardians the day before. The Mariners, I think they are the better team right now. They're playing well at home. They're 35-29 straight up at home. Castillo, he's pitched a lot in a lot of low-scoring games recently, so I think this game can be close, but I just trust the Mariners a little more than the White Sox right now. So give me the home team, give me the Mariners, depending on the price. Nothing above a 150, though.
Okay, so a decent case made there for Seattle as a home favorite, Noah.
For me, I'm not really going to go against this White Sox team without TLR. 5-1 in the last 6 games, and they got my guy Michael Kopech on the mound. I just think this is a team that's going to get rolling in September here. Castillo is on the mound, which is going to inflate that Seattle price. Seattle is one of my favorite teams going right now, but I really think that I just have to trust my gut from the preseason that this is a White Sox team that has the ability to get hot right now. They acquired Elvis Andrus, who has been playing great at shortstop in replacement of Tim Anderson. I'm going with the White Sox here as a dog.
It was Seattle for me as well. The White Sox did get their win last night, but I'm still not in on them. I've come down on the other side of this argument. I know you and Munaf were sweet on the White Sox on the show you recorded on Thursday or Friday night, but I'm not really buying into it. I think it's a flash in the pan, and I think Seattle will get the ship righted tomorrow and will get the win. 6:40 Eastern first pitch between the Boston Red Sox and the Tampa Bay Rays. Officially TBD again for Boston. I believe it's Nick Pivetta going for the Red Sox. Jeffrey Springs, left-handed pitcher, will go for the Tampa Bay Rays. No lines again, unfortunately, on this one. I'll give you my handicap. Nick Pivetta, 9-10 on the year, 4.37 ERA. He's pitched 150 and a third, 145 Ks. Jeffrey Springs, 7-4 with a 2.62 ERA, 106 and 2/3 pitched with 117 strikeouts. Pivetta's been really inconsistent. His numbers are okay recently, 371 in his last 5, but yeah, he's been up and down like a bride's nightly. He's got a 5 earned run start 2 starts ago. He had a 3 inning start just last time out. He only gave up 4 hits in 1 earned run there, so I'm not actually sure if he was feeling an injury. Jeffrey Springs has been good. I And the key stat in this entire handicap is he's been great at home. He's got a 191 home ERA. He had a bad start 2 outings ago against the Red Sox, but that was on the road. So back in Tampa, he's a different pitcher. So no lines. I can't imagine he'll be hugely chalky. But I'll take the Tampa Bay Rays here on the money line as long as the line isn't too prohibitive, Noah.
Yeah, Pivetta does pitch better on the road as well. And with both these pitchers pitching better in this specific environment and both offenses not threatening, for me, I like the under.
Okay. And Dylan, what were the Rockford lines telling us on this?
Well, I didn't know Pivetta was going, but like you said, he's been a little inconsistent for me. I like the Rays. They're probably the right side. Nothing too chalky, though. I agree. I don't think they'll be that big of a favorite. Maybe like minus 140, minus 145-ish I could see. I think they have the pitching advantage with Springs, especially you mentioned it, how good he's been at home. And the Red Sox are just not a good road team. They're an under 500 team on the road. When they usually go to Tampa, they lose. So I'll probably stick with the Rays here, depending on the price.
6:45 Eastern first pitch. The Miami Marlins take on the Philadelphia Phillies. 2 left-handed pitchers going. Trevor Rogers for Miami and Bailey Falter will go for the Phillies. Lines are Miami plus 150, Philly minus 179. Total here is set at 8. Noah, take us away with Miami at Philadelphia.
Yeah, so the Marlins, they're on a 7-game losing streak here. Philly, they're 6-1 in their last 7 games against Miami. They've covered the run line in 5 of those 6 wins, but they're 1-6 in their last 7 games currently. They're allowing the Giants to jump right back into this NL wildcard race. Only 2 games back of the Phillies. Miami is starting Trevor Rogers here, making his second appearance off of the IL. He's 4-10 on the year, 5.57 ERA, 88 strikeouts, 42 walks, and 93.2 innings pitched. In his first game off, Rogers looked great. He held the Rays to only 1 run in 5 innings. I know it's the Rays offense, but Rogers is a kid with a lot of talent in that arm, and he just didn't have a great start of the season. So coming off the IL, maybe he's just a new guy. Bailey Falter going for Philly, 3-3, 4.08 ERA, 52 strikeouts, 13 walks, and 57.1 innings pitched. He's a 2.61 ERA over his last 4 games. Personally, I'm staying away from this game, but my pick, I like the price on Miami for the money line, and I like the under as well. Just both these guys look like they're in good shape over the last few outings.
So we've got one for the dog there, Dylan. How do you feel?
Yeah, I do think there's value here with the fish. If you're able to get a plus 160, I only made the Phillies a minus 160 favorite. So if you're able to get a few more cents on the fish, I do think they're live, but my play is going to be another total. I'm going to go under 8. I made my line 7. Like you guys said, Trevor Rogers, he's looked decent in his first start back. I know you look at him like kind of a guy you might not want to back, but in his starts on the road, a lot of them have gone under. In his last start against the Phillies, only gave up 4 runs. The game ended 4-0. Another reason, mainly the sole reason I'm on the under is because I just don't trust the Marlins offense. They've only scored 2 or more runs once in a week. And a third reason I like under is because we got 10-mile winds blowing in from center field. Like I said, the Northeast, Philly's only about an hour away. It's going to be raining, very windy around here. So give me the under 8. I think that's very high.
There we go. Wind handicaps. I like it.
Yeah, I love all that. A low-scoring game often brings the underdogs into play a little bit more as well. I had the Marlins written down here. Captain Insano in the chat. Bigging up Miami as well. Just everything you've said. Loved what Rogers did since he came back. I was disappointed with him early in the season. There was obviously something amiss with him because I was expecting better from him. And now he's come back off the aisle second time round. Hopefully he can finish out the season strong. Miami have to win at some point. They can't lose forever. And Philly also keep losing. And you wouldn't really trust Bailey Falter. There's no reason he should be that priced. There it is. It's the team ride, including the chat room as well. So give me Miami at plus 150. 7:05 Eastern first pitch. The Toronto Blue Jays and the Baltimore Orioles. Alek Manoah goes for the Blue Jays and Dean Kramer goes for Baltimore. Baltimore are a home puppy, Dylan, plus 135. Toronto minus 160. That's changed. Tolia set at 7.5. I reckon, Dylan, you took Alek Manoah and the Blue Jays at minus 140 a little while ago.
Yeah, I honestly did. How'd you know?
I've made you like a book. I'm a very good judge, mate, is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm a very good judge.
Yeah, Mal spot on. A little chalky here, boys, but it was honestly the only choice I could make for this one. So I took the Blue Jays minus 140. I made them up to a minus 160 favorite. Both teams are fighting for that wild card spot, but starter against starter, I got to give the edge to Manoah. I just like his overall body of work a little better than Kramer. Kramer's been really well, but the Orioles do seem to play well when he is on the mound, which scares me a little. But little revenge factor for the Blue Jays and Manoah. His last two starts against the Orioles, the team lost both of those games. But the Blue Jays, they have won 5 in a row, including the first 2 of the series with their ace on the mound. I think they got the momentum. I think they got confidence. I think it should be a close one, but give me the Blue Jays to keep it rolling.
Yeah, there seems to be this thing. If I see a number early on, because I know I handicap my games 7 or 8, I was often before you two. And if I see a number that's clearly wrong, or I feel it's wrong, you tend to spot it as well, Dylan. I've noticed this over the last few months, and I've got written down Alek Manoah at minus 140 here is far too good a price, and I just had a feeling that is something that you would have honed in on. You seem to have the sharp eye there, so that has moved to 160. But I'm going to stick to my guns and put it out as the minus 140 that I took earlier on. So maybe have a little shop around for that one. Noah, did you come down on Toronto as well?
I see the writing on the wall. I'm talking to two sharps, and I'm just the public guy. I see both guys, really good arms on the mound. I'm a college pitcher myself, so that's where my eye goes to, is I love taking unders. And Kramer at home has a sub-3 ERA. Manoah on the road, sub-3 ERA. Both guys in great shape. Malcolm, you just said it in the last analysis. It's a low-scoring game. It means that the Baltimore Orioles are live, and this team is an under team. I'm going to take the plus money on the Orioles all day long, especially since Dylan just mentioned that they've beaten Manoah twice already this year. Come on, guys. I'm going Baltimore and under.
I do agree with the under.
Deprives us of the trumpets. I also think that Toronto did seem to have Baltimore's number yesterday, and I think they are as fun as Baltimore have been. Toronto are just a little bit of a better team. If I see a better pitcher with a and a better lineup, that sometimes it's so straightforward. That's one of my favorite combos to look at. That's if I can tick those boxes off early doors, I can often stop handicapping at that point, as long as the price isn't too egregious, and a minus 140 wasn't for a better pitcher on a better team. So I'll stick with that. 7:40 Eastern first pitches, the Cincinnati Reds and the Chicago Cubs. Mike Minor, lefty, will go for the Reds, and Javier Assad for the Chicago Cubs. I don't think there's any lines on this. No, there's no lines at all. Javier Assad was confirmed very, very, very recently in this game here. So I've got no lines at all. No handicap at all for it. Who's handicapping this one for us?
I had a go for earlier.
Okay, what have you got?
So I've got this game handicapped just without lines. So Cincinnati, they're 2-5 in their last 7 games on the road. The Cubs, they're 1-8 in their last 9 games outright. Mike Minor is on the mound for Cincinnati. 3-10, 5.98 ERA, 67 strikeouts, 31 walks, and 84.1 innings pitched. He's a 5.56 ERA in August. But in saying that, his last 2 starts, he was great. So, is he figuring something out? I don't know. Then you go over to Chicago, and they have Javier Assad going, and he's had 2 starts and then 1 relief appearance. He has a 0.9 ERA, 6 strikeouts, 6 walks, and 10 innings pitched. He faced St. Louis twice and Toronto once. Assad has faced tough competition in 3 appearances, so I slightly lean Chicago first 5, but no bet for me in this game, just because I don't know what's going to happen. Both these bullpens blow, so they could just blow a lead in the later innings. But just off the first 5, I like Javier Assad more than Mike Minor.
Okay, Dylan, Reds at the Cubs. Ugly one to handicap this.
Yeah, 100% agree with Noah and everything. I think Cubs do have the pitching advantage. And Mike Minor's not a guy I want it back. I expect them to open up a decent-sized favorite at home. I know the Cubs have been struggling, but I made the Cubs a minus 150 favorite. I think they do have the pitching advantage. And I like the angle that he took with the first 5, get in, get out, and don't get involved with the bullpens because you don't want to trust those bullpens. So I'm gonna tell Noah here. It's a game probably I won't have action on because it's just an ugly game. But for the show, I'll take first 5 Cubs.
Yeah, what I feel is happening with Mike Minor is that he's going to become my new project, like Anibal Sanchez. I fixed Anibal Sanchez. I have resurrected his career and sent him off into the big wide world like a proud father. And I'm now taking Mike Minor under my wing. I've faded him the last couple of times when he's been absolutely brilliant. So I'll do it again tomorrow. I'll fade him tomorrow, enabling him to put a stellar start up. I will take Assad and the Chicago Cubs on the money line. They will be favourites, but I don't think they'll be that chalky. Even just name recognition, really. So we'll have to see. But yeah, not a strong play. I won't be throwing fortunes on it. But yeah, that'll be my pick. Next up, we have 7:45 Eastern first pitch. The Washington Nationals at the St. Louis Cardinals, where Corey Abbott will go for the Nationals and Jordan Montgomery, left-handed pitcher, goes for St. Louis. St. Louis are short, minus 320. Washington plus 252. Total error is set at 8. Dylan, can you make a case for the Nats at all here?
No, I hate the Nationals. I'm going to continue to back Montgomery and the Cardinals here. The Cardinals, they've won every game Montgomery has started since coming over from the Yankees. Cardinals, they're 3-2 on the run line when he starts at home in St. Louis. You know, the Nationals have been playing better, but the Cardinals have been playing just as good. The Nationals will start to regress to their normal self, a below-average team. And as for Corey Abbott, most likely a bullpen game for the Nationals. I don't expect them to go too many innings. I don't think the Cardinals will go another day without scoring runs like they did yesterday. So give me them to bounce back. Cardinals at home, minus 1.5 at minus 120.
Exactly the same play. St. Louis on the run line for me. I think Washington had their win for the series yesterday. St. Louis either score none or 11. They're the only two numbers they ever score. What's going on? They never.
I don't know.
Just have a middling thing. So anyway, tomorrow's going to be an 11 day. So give me the Cards on the run line, Noah.
I'm on the opposite side here, guys. Washington, the reason why that Dylan hates Washington is because they just spoiled the Mets this weekend. Took 2 of 3. True. They've won 5 of their last 6 against the Mets, the Cardinals, and they took 2 from Oakland. But still, this is a team that has been, cashing money line underdogs of 200 or more for 4 straight games, guys. How can we fade this? I'm going Nationals and I'm going over.
Okay, yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm not changing my pick because at the same time you're absolutely wrong. But part of what you said are do make sense. 8:10 Eastern first pitch is the Cleveland Guardians and the Kansas City Royals. Cleveland are TBD. I've got no one at all. Actually, they're absolutely nothing at all. Where Zach Greinke will go for Kansas City. So we have no lines at all. And I've got no clues going for Cleveland, so I'm going to cut that off there. Dylan or Noah, did you see a picture for this, or did you have anything at all?
No, I did see Zach Greinke going.
Yeah,
Zach Greinke, that's all I know. I saw Zach Plesac early in the morning. Now I'm seeing Morris going for them, so they're coming. Okay, yeah. So
he punched the ground after giving up a bomb.
Oh,
well, he has he's got like a boxing fracture on his knuckle.
He pulled a Chris Sale throwing a temper tantrum.
That was hilarious in the dugout in the minor leagues. But my reasoning for just screaming Zach Greinke way out of context is 2.05 home ERA. So the Royals are going to be a dog. The Royals lineup is feisty. I've said this for like a month straight now. I'm going with the Royals. I don't even need to know the pitcher for Cleveland here.
Well, funny you should say that, because I was dying to take the Royals. I started handicapping this game, got through Greinke. I've got him down as a 198 home ERA. I think he's pitched 54 and 2/3 as well. So he's done a lot of his pitching at home, and that's a great record there. And I was going to take, I was all set to take him. I just wanted to see which middling Cleveland pitcher we were going to get beat. But I wasn't able to do that. So when I do see a middling Cleveland pitcher tomorrow, that I'll be looking to take possibly Kansas City in that one.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just keep your eye out for a September call-up. I didn't do any research on some of Cleveland's farm, but they have some good arms down there that they could just bring up for this spot. Again, Dylan said this could have been Plesac's spot in the rotation. He just landed on the IL. So, yes, that's my analysis there.
Fair enough. How many games? 2 games left. Tim has joined us in the chat. Tim, how are you doing? Tim will be having a pizza bet on the Nationals tomorrow, not wanting to get involved with the Cards, which is fair enough. Right, I don't know what's going on with this next game. 8:10 Eastern first pitch between the Texas Rangers and the Houston Astros. Officially a TBD pitcher. My sources have got nothing at all. Christian Javier is going for Houston, but I am seeing some lines, so there may be a pitcher that I don't know about. I've got Texas at plus 235, Houston minus 280, and a total here is set at 8. So, Dylan, are you seeing a picture for Texas at all? And did you get a handicap on the game? Because I had nothing for this.
Yeah, I'm actually seeing. I thought I was seeing Dallas Keuchel. I put down in my notes.
No, they cut him. They DFA'd him.
Oh, okay. So now because now I'm seeing Cole Ragans going.
Okay.
The Rangers.
That would fit with the prices, I think.
Yeah, that would. And I'm actually kind of bummed now
on the run line.
Well,
you're bummed because you wanted to see Dallas Keuchel?
No, well, yeah. I mean, honestly, like, we love fading that guy, but
you make a lot of money fading him.
We had a collective memorial for Keuchel being DFA'd in the Discord channel the other day, so that's how I knew he was DFA'd. But I was kind of hoping that this was going to be a spot with Texas, like a September call-up for one of these interesting arms that I had written down. I was like, they could bring up Jack Leiter, who's been great in the minors. He's in AA right now, projected to make his appearance in the MLB in 2023. You know, that's a perfect spot to just bring him up, get his feet wet in September here. Or they could have gone with Owen White or Cole Winn, just the exact same thing as Jack Leiter. But I guess it's going to be Cole Ragans, who's another young guy. I'm not going to be upset with that. They're just getting their, interesting farm going here. Texas, they're on a 9-game losing streak. They're 1-7 in their last 8 against Houston. Houston 6-1 in their last 7 games outright, 9-2 in their last 11 at the juice box. Texas, they have a to be determined pitcher, like we mentioned, could be Cole Ragans, but Houston is starting Christian Javier. He's 8-9 with a 3.07 ERA, 157 strikeouts, 44 walks in 120.1 innings pitched. He's a 2.90 ERA in August. I mean, I need to know if Ragans is pitching, because if I do, I'm going to end up going Houston's run line here. But if it's one of those 3 guys that I mentioned earlier, one of those young guns, I'd be all over the value on a young arm from Texas.
Do you know, and I'm not putting you on the spot here, what's happened to AJ Alexi at Texas?
No, I don't.
Okay, because obviously he was last September, he was the darling of the show. Me and Moonaf and Dave Sharapan, the sportsbook consig, came on and independently had all kind of stumbled across AJ Alexi, who kept winning at plus 200 for about 5 starts in a row. So I don't know where he's gone and why he's not been back, unless he's crocked or something.
I can look up.
Don't worry about it. We'll move on. Dylan, did we give you a chance at this Texas Houston game yet?
Yeah, it was pretty simple. Kind of same thing as Noah. Houston, they've owned Texas. even if it's Cole Reagans or one of the new guys. I love Christian Javier in this spot. I also like the under as well. I think this could be a low-scoring game. Houston plays a lot of low-scoring games. I set my total at 7.6, but give me Houston on the run line, minus 120.
Good news for you, Malcolm. AJ Alexi was just optioned up from the Rangers Round Rock Express, so they've called him up. So he's in their stable. It was a September call-up. We just haven't seen him yet. So.
Oh, excellent. We'll be
announced August 30th.
Right then. So when we sing his name, we'll be ready to empty our purse all over AJ Alexi. That's fun. It's a K prop for Christian Javier for Captain Insane, who's on my fantasy team. So I hope you're right, Captain. Final game here, 8:40 Eastern first pitch. The Arizona Diamondbacks at the San Diego Padres. Tommy Henry, left-handed pitcher, one of Noah's guys, goes for the D-backs. Yu Darvish is on the bump for San Diego. Arizona plus 177. The Padres are minus 210. Total here is set at 8. Tommy Henry 3-3 on the season, 4.83 ERA. He's pitched 31 2/3 with 23 strikeouts. Yu Darvish has a record of 12-7 with 3.26 ERA, 162.2 pitched, 162 Ks. Tommy Henry got smacked about last time against Philadelphia. 7 earned runs he gave up in just 4 innings, but he's been great before that. And I know Noah's talked a good game about him, so I'll put my faith in him. I think that might be an outlier, maybe just a few teething problems. I think he's done enough starts before that to earn a little bit of trust from us. Darvish has been really steady without being spectacular. He's been better at home as well, Yu Darvish. I want to take the Henry bounce back spot here, but I can't take Arizona against Yu Darvish's home record, which meant I wasn't able to come down on a side. Therefore, it was either the full game under 8 or even more so lean towards a first 5 under. I'm not too sure about the D-backs bullpen. So I'll take a first 5 under here. I think Tommy Henry can go well, and I expect a decent start from Yu Darvish. So under on the first 5, Dylan.
Yeah, as for the total, I set my total at 8.1. It was right at my number, so I stayed away from this. But dog of the day, Malcolm, give me the Padres minus 1.5, plus 130. Love Yu Darvish at home in this spot. He's looked great. He's looked great against the Snakes in his 3 starts. The Padres won 2 of those 3 games, and they covered the run line in both wins. The game they lost, he got no run support. He went 6 scoreless innings without giving up a hit. So I think the lineup is better than the Snakes. Now for Tommy Henry, he finally had a bad game, like you mentioned in his last start against the Phillies. So I just don't know if how he's gonna respond to that. Some young guys pick up, some guys bounce back. I want to pick on him just a little here, so give me the Padres as my dog of the day, minus 1.5.
And Noah, finally, what do you feel here?
Yeah, so I was frantically trying to find my analysis on Henry's last start. I have a full notebook that I've used up from SGPN. That's 2 now since I was hired in January. So I'm on my 3rd. Fresh page, first page. But I'm positive that Henry, I faded him because I was like, a blow-up start is coming. And the Phillies crushed left-handed pitching. I think this is a complete bounce-back spot for my guy. He's faced very tough competition in his 6 starts so far in the MLB. Guardians. And then he mopped up the Pittsburgh Pirates. 7 innings, only gave up 4 hits, 1 run. Then he goes 2 Coors, only gives up three runs. Then he's got the Cardinals, the White Sox, and the Phillies. 3 straight teams that murder left-handed pitching. I think the Padres have a mediocre hitting lineup against left-handed pitching. This is a huge dog spot for my guy Henry. I'm going with the D-backs here. I think they can take advantage of this big, juicy price.
I love it. Captain Encino is flexing. He's got Tommy Henry on his first place fantasy team. If I hold on to my lead this week, and I did get off to a hot start as we discussed earlier, I will play the captain in the semi-finals next week. So looking forward to a bit of. I'm going to have to stay relatively sober on certain evenings if I need to set a lineup while I'm in Vegas. You've got an advantage next week, Captain, because I'm going to be off me tits most of the time. So let's see how that works. It's funny because it's true. Right, okay. Lock and dog picks to come in a matter of moments. I'm going to tell you about Run Your Pool first. The home of competition for sports fans and their social circles. They offer Pick'em Survivors, fantasy pools. Here at the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, we've teamed up with Run Your Pool to host a SGPN NFL Survivor contest, which you can reserve your spot. $500 cash, $250 gift certificate to the winner. So sign up at play.runyourpool.com/SGPN. Play.runyourpool.com/SGPN. And finally, Odds Trader. Odds Trader is a great tool for comparing odds from all major sports books and also comparing sign-ups and promo codes so you get the best value for your money. Once you've done all that and you get started, you'd want to take advantage of the player stats, key game stats, injury reports, game day weather, live scoring, play-by-play updates, all things like that. And the bet tracker, which is a great tool as well. Oddstrader.com/Blue OddsTrader is the #1 site for all of your game day bets. Okay, so this is going to be the last lock and dog picks while I am on these sceptred isles of the United Kingdom for a few days. So let's make them good, boys. Dylan, lead us off.
Yeah, so like I just said, I'm going to take the Padres as my dog of the day. I just think Yu Darvish at home. I just think this might be a bad spot for the Snakes. I'm going to take them -1.5. And as for my lock, I'm going to go with the total here. We mentioned it earlier as one of our team rides. Tigers, Angels, under 9, under 8.5, whatever you could get. Love it. Tigers, they've been a cash cow for unders this whole year. Angels, I think they got all the runs they out of them last night, scoring 10. And Patrick Sandoval's just been amazing. Last time he faced them, went the full game, only giving up 4 hits. Game ended 1-0. I think Hutchinson has been better on the road. Love this total under.
Okay. Noah.
I'm on. Are you on that? Do we have a triple?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. So just a double
lock. You went
lock,
too soon.
Just a double lock, but that's why I wanted to play it. Double in the lock dog segment. Going, I mean, Sandoval threw a 9-inning complete game shutout in his last appearance against the Tigers. Hutchinson's better pitcher on the road. Just repeat everything that Dylan said. That is my lock. For my dog, though, I think I put my name on quite a few dogs, but I didn't stamp like, hey, I'm betting this dog. So I have to go through all of my dogs just from this podcast. I had the D-backs, I had the Orioles, I had the Marlins, I had the Tigers. I didn't give that one out, but that's just my pick for the game. And then my favorite one, I think, was the Royals, but there's no line on that one. So you know what I have to do? I have to go to the team that's been hot as a +200 dog. We're going with the Nationals against our beloved Cardinals. I just feel like this is a good enough spot to just go with a big dog. So they've won 5 of the last 6 games against good competition. They've beat the Cardinals. They beat I think it was the Phillies, and 2 games against the Oakland Athletics during this little hot stretch. So we're going to ride the hot hand and go with the Nationals there.
Well, let the big dogs eat. No, I love it. My lock is going to be, although this price has moved, I'm going to take the Toronto Blue Jays with Alek Manoah. -140, they shifted to -160, so maybe something in between, and we can play that unit and a half play that we often talk about at that price. It's one of my favourite handicaps. Slightly better team, slightly better pitchers here, so give me the Blue Jays in that spot.
Hey, you guys are the sharps. You were calling me public. I was all over the Orioles, so go ahead and take that.
You were, mate. And I was struggling a little bit for dogs. I was certainly not as many as you had to choose from, Noah. But I'm going to go to Miami. I think we all fancied them. I think it was a trumpet situation. So on the grounds, neither of you two have called them out as an official dog on the show. I'll head in that direction. Just enjoyed what Trevor Rogers did last time, and I don't see why he can't do it again. Miami have to win at some point, and Bailey Falt is hardly a big name. Low scoring game, which gives the dog a chance. So give me Miami at +150. And that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is the end of the show. So thank you very much, Dylan. Thank you, Noah. Thanks everyone who's tuned in and chirped up in the chat as well. Dylan, what's happening for you the rest of the evening, apart from sorting out that upgrade to first class for me?
Yeah, we'll get right on that. But I want to know, nothing's going on the rest of the day, just relax and shitty weather, like I said, out here. But I got to know, since you are going out to Vegas, what's your week 1 best bet in the NFL? Like if I had to go in my mom's room, take all of her money and put it on a play, what should it be?
The SGP podcast hasn't come out for Malcolm to ride anything, right?
Not yet, but I mentioned to you just off air, I am keen on the Carolina Panthers. Minus 2.5.
He's on the revenge spot. You said that was BS, but that's
exactly. Yeah, spot. Not because of that.
It's because of that. Come on.
Yeah, I see 2.5s out there, Mal.
Yeah, so I'd say 2.5. I think the Titans minus 5.5 is a great play as well. So yeah, they'd be my 2 that I've got my eye on so far. Hopefully, I've got enough gunpowder left in the clip to fire some bullets on Sunday night that I hope I haven't. I'm not lying in the gutter.
Remember, the book doesn't take card; always have cash.
Yeah, I just hope I haven't been shot in the car wash or something. Noah, what's happening?
All right, so for tonight, it's Tuesday Night Miracle session. We got the Dana White's Contender Series. But, last week, I don't have a play or anything like that, just tail Gumby in the Discord channel. But last week, when we were doing this like little ending of the podcast, Dylan and I gave out Michigan State spread. So just be wary. It might be, who knows what happens with Malcolm in Vegas. We're going to be doing a maybe podcast together on the weekend, so we might be just throwing out college football and NFL plays on this one as well. So who knows? But I mean, he cashed UConn the week before too,
and you laughed at me.
I know I did.
I thought
it was too crazy, but I mean, seems like we're some sharps here. But
yeah, and that casino, I love it. Love the casino.
The slots.
Well, so, brilliant, boys. Appreciate all of that.
I hope you have a safe flight to Vegas, and
don't forget to bring us back something. All that money.
Don't run to the blackjack tables as soon as you get there off the plane.
Hey, it's going to be a challenge, isn't it? Wheels are up in 9 hours and 24 minutes. So very much this time, I might, in fact, see you down the road. Cheers.